So welcome in. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. It is season 3. Wow. Episode 4. First of all, I want to thank you guys, the viewers, the fans, the supporters of the show, because it has stuck around. On these apps, sometimes shows appear and sometimes shows go. And that's completely okay. That's up to the admin. And I'm very thankful that Lotus Lounge has stuck around so long. We're now in our 3rd season, like I said, in episode 4. So big shout out to everybody. Let's get some clapping hand emojis in the comments. This is the work not only of myself, but of the entire Lotus Lounge family. So Lotus Lounge family, if you'd like to represent, please run our emojis in the comments. And those of you that are visiting or stopping by, you can hit a fave on any of these wonderful people that are putting the emojis in the comments. They are part of the Lotus Lounge family. And if you like the vibe here, you're probably gonna like the vibe in their streams as well, all right? So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge, and we are starting now. So I thought, because I'm on the road, I'm in New York, actually. Hi, guys. And I thought it would be really nice this time to start with a little meditation. I literally just got into this hotel room, and I wanted to be here and be present for this show because it's such a great show. We're talking about disability community awareness today, and I figured it'd be really nice if we can get everybody into that space. All right? So if you will, please close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and exhale. Let's do that again. And this time, let's add some movement to it. As we inhale, I want to see you lifting your shoulders. And as you exhale, release the shoulders and relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Okay, let's do that again together. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. Okay. Now bring your attention to your heart. If you would like, you can place your hands on your heart. And just for 1 minute, I want you to think of all the things you are grateful for. And if you feel to write it in the comments, you can. You can write, I am grateful for my home. I love my home. It's so comfortable. I am grateful for my job. It pays me well and it gives me money to do the things that I like to do. I'm grateful for my family, for my friend circle that support me and check on me when they need to, right? So just write it in the comments. What are you grateful for? Let's fill the energy here in this space with an energy of gratitude. Maple says she's grateful for life. I love that. Eli is grateful for having a great Lotus Lounge family and building strong. Amen to that. Who else? What else? What are we grateful for? Grateful for the Lotus family. Grateful for my son growing in opportunities every day. Grateful for a regulated nervous system. That is so great, Graceful, because it's so often we just look over our bodies, right? And we don't even give ourselves appreciation for what our bodies are doing, right? Grateful for my kids, my job, my car. Beautiful. Grateful for every day I breathe because what? We are above ground and we are given another chance to start all over again, right? Some of you might have noticed yesterday I had a bad day, and that's what I love about streams and the communities that we create. I absolutely adore my Lotus Lounge family because I wrote them yesterday and I said, hey, full moon Aquarius is getting to me, right? We had the full moon Aquarius yesterday and that energy was just really strong and thick. And I was like, I don't know if I can make it through. And they came through and pulled me up. They came, they sat in the box, laughed with me, hung out with me, just conversations, gifts, surprises, just a really great time. So big shout out to everybody in the Lotus Lounge family for doing that. And for everybody everywhere who does that. If you have a friend who's going through something and you're just like, you know what, I can take a pause on my stuff in my life and check on my friend and just make sure they're okay. Yeah, it was a hard day. Exactly. It was a hard day. But I'm grateful that you guys are here. And thank you. If you are new, we would love to give you a warm Lotus welcome. So if you are new here, please feel free to put a one in the comments so we can greet you. And if you've never been here before and you like the vibe, it is always peace, love, light, and positivity in the Lotus Lounge. You can hit my name, hit that favorite button, and come and hang out here more often. We appreciate you. Thick Milkshake, hello, welcome in. Mickey, it's okay if you don't speak English, you can still enjoy the vibe, okay? Hi, Christian, thank you. You're welcome. Superman, welcome in as well. We're happy to have you. So if you guys are new, I do stream twice a day. In the morning, we have a show that's like this. It's called Uma's Morning Light. And we do all the stuff that we do here, metaphysical readings, psychic readings, metaphysical talks, things of that nature. And then in the evenings, we have shows. Every night we have a different show, whether it's a sports show or a debate or trivia. But the shows are on break, guys. Thank you for the gifts. The shows are on break until September when we do come back full-fledged. And we definitely have topics. If it's one thing the Lotus Lounge has is content. So if you're starved for content and you just want to be somewhere with people, having a good time, chatting, having conversations, being respectful, definitely hit me with that fave and come and hang out. It is definitely a grown and mature vibe here in the Lotus Lounge. So usually I do like a little talk, now before we bring in our guests, but we have a special show today. We have two guests coming in, and today we are bringing and shining the spotlight on the disability community. We have a lot of streamers on streams that have disabilities. And one of the most treacherous things to me in my eyes is when grown people, adults, are shaming other people. The biggest thing I see on these streams are shaming people for their bodies, body shaming, ageism, shaming people who are older or younger, gender shaming, shaming people that are women or men, and then definitely shaming the disability community. So we have two of our Lotus Lounge family members that are going to come in, and we're going to have a little chat about the disability community and about raising awareness for the disability community. And don't forget, if you are here at the end of the show, you will get a tarot card reading from yours truly, because that is what I love to do. I am a psychic medium by trade, and I'm happy to give these to you. If we manage to hit that 20K goal in this stream, I will do something a little extra special for all of you that are in attendance. All right. So why not we put some clapping hand emojis in the comments, and we're going to welcome in our guests for the day. We have Jay Styles and BrattyAsh. Please give them a warm Lotus welcome to the Lotus Lounge, where they live. Actually, they reside here, but you can always welcome somebody back home, right? So let's go ahead and clap it up for Jay Styles and BrattyAsh. And please, guys, when they're in the box, feel free to gift, feel free to fave them. I know they would appreciate it for sure. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. All right, we have somebody requesting the box. There we go. We have Jay Styles. Hi, Jay. And there is Ash.
Lotus Lounge family.
Hi, Lotus.
Hi, guys. Welcome in. Are you excited to be here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, before we jump in, I know we have some great questions from you guys that we have put forward. And I want to remind everybody in the comments, this is a featured show. So watch your language, watch your what you're writing, your comments, because if it is offensive, we will kick you on site without a warning, because this is a featured show. So before we start with the questions and talking about our topic, Ash, can you go first? And then Jay, can you explain to us a little bit about who you are, what you are in real life, what you are in the streaming world? So it's three questions, right? Who you are in real life, who you are on streams, what do you do on streams? And then what is your tie to the disability community to talk today?
So I'll go first. So I'm BrattyAsh. My name is Ashley. And what was the second question? I forgot already. Oh, streaming. I stream when I can. So when I go back to school as a teacher, I will be on less, but I always try to come in and give love to my Lotus family. And then as a tie to the disability community, my other than me being a teacher and an educator for over 10 years and have dealt with teaching and helping taking care and raising a range wide of children to teenagers with different and various disabilities and learning about so many ones from medical to intellectual. My son was actually recently diagnosed with a hearing disability and is learning sign language to help communicate with each other. So,
Wow. Wow. And as moms, right? Like we always wish and hope that when we have our children, they're born healthy and well. And then it's always like, okay, now we got to readjust. So we're definitely going to be diving into what that's like being a caretaker of somebody with a disability. Thank you, Ash, and welcome in. All right, Jay. Again, the three questions: who are you in real life? Tell us a little bit about your live streaming schedule, and what is your tie to the disability community?
Hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm Nike God J Styles. I stream almost every day. I'm taking a break right now with my streaming. My content mostly music, talking about mental health awareness, um, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on Saturdays. I also do streaming with movies. So I show movies, various movies, to relax. My involvement with the disability community, I was diagnosed at age of 7 at a Catholic school that offered free diagnosis for both your teeth and hearing and vision. And from there, by the time I was 9, I received a hearing aid in my left ear, which gradually progressed over to my right ear. So I'm what's considered bilateral hearing deficient. I have nerve and bone deterioration that has already been maxed out for the last 41 years. So it won't get any worse and it won't get any better. So I wear hearing aids in both of my ears. Over the years, I used to have in the ear hearing aid. Now I have over the ear hearing aid.
Wow. Wow. So we have someone here from the disability community with an actual disability. And then we have Ash, who is the mother to someone with a disability. We're going to have a great conversation, guys. Welcome into the Lotus Lounge. This is a featured stream here on the Plenty of Fish and Meet Me app. All right, guys, remember, if you in the comments have questions or you relate to anything that they're saying, please feel free to join the conversation. We welcome your comments and your questions for sure. Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask, it's going to go to Ash. What's it like growing up with a disability? And I would assume that's more for your child, right? Like, what's it like watching him go through this, having a disability and discover life, but in a little different way?
well, as a mom, and I think as an educator, I kind of was able to use that background knowledge. So, I guess I would say, hi, baby, that I was blessed and lucky in the sense that um, I have the experience and I am fluent in sign language. So, um, I was lucky in the sense to be able to handle that, whereas some parents aren't as lucky. They have a child with a hearing disability, for example, and they don't know any sign language, so they have to learn. So I have like my mom and other family members who are learning sign for the first time as an adult to be able to communicate with my child, and you can see it's difficult,
Yeah. Did
but
you find
it's
that exercise of having your family members learn it, was that like a bonding experience for you or more a frustrating experience for you guys?
it's kind of it depends. With certain family members on other side of the family, it was very frustrating because they didn't want to learn. And they felt like if we just talk louder, which is a very typical stereotype, that if you just talk louder, he can hear you. But actually, if you talk louder and loud sounds, it actually affects his hearing and it like hurts his ears even more.
Wow.
So I'm still trying to educate certain people in the family and saying, no, this is not how it is.
Right. Because now, like, in a way, you're the expert for this family, and they should really be paying attention to you, but they're probably not giving you the credentials for that. I
Exactly.
saw Jay nodding a little bit for that. So has that been your experience as well?
Yes. Even now, as an adult, with having adult siblings, the difference is as an adult, not so much the noise decibel of my sister versus my brother, it's the decibel level. So my hearing aids are programmed to accuse to a certain decibel range. If it gets too loud, it startles me, which will trigger me emotionally. And I had to tell my sister yesterday, you triggered me, you startled me. When you need my attention, don't come at me at an angle if I'm watching TV. Come in front of me and let me acknowledge you with eye contact. Because once I'm stressed and I'm overwhelmed with stress from being startled, I'm ready to respond in a negative tone. I'm ready to get defensive because you took me out of my comfort zone by startling me because of my hearing. So it's a challenge there. And then growing up, people assumed they would have to learn sign language on my dad's side, my cousins, my grandmother, my aunt. God rest their souls. And it was until I got older and I reflected on it, it kind of bothered me that they would have thought that. But my mom educated herself and she still asks questions. She still goes with me to my audiology appointment because she has questions. And I can't answer them. I can, but I can't answer them in a way that will make sense to her directly. So I let her sit in after I'm done with the evaluation and let her ask all the questions that she can ask. And if she stumbles along the way, then I can give her clarity and breaking it down based on what the audiologist is saying. So, um, but in the community, the struggle with people who can speak and can hear is a presumption as if, like I said, you need to speak louder. No, you need to speak clearly and consistent with enunciation and proper pronunciation. Sometimes I read a lot of lips because I know a lot of people don't like they like to turn their head when they speak, but they don't like to make eye contact. So I try to pay attention to the lip movement to distinguish the consonants over the vowels to understand what is being said. And
So that
even my mother, she has a very soft voice, and so it's difficult with my mom because she has a very soft voice.
and I was just gonna say the pitch for different people too. Like you might find some people's voice, nice, their tone and stuff, and then some other people might just be jarring, too jarring. Milkshake had a great question. Does lip reading help those better communicate? What do you guys think? We heard for Jay, for him personally, but do you think on the whole?
Yes, it does. But the thing with some people that don't understand, like when it comes to lip reading, that's actually taught. So you are taught to lip read. So there are people who cannot lip read. So that is, and usually that is taught by, like a speech pathologist, speech therapist. Um, but not everybody is taught how to lip read. But yes, it can help.
That was
So
a
I want
great
to add
question.
to what Ash just said. When they diagnosed me, so being though I'm born and raised in DC, Children's National Medical Center is one of the number one, and for years has been the number one pediatric hearing specialist in the country. And I had at the time, at the top speech pathologist teach me how to lip read. And she told my mother, and I remember this at 7 years old. I'm 48 now. I remember this like yesterday. For someone at my age to excel in lip reading was astounding. My mother doesn't like me lip reading her. She wants me to hear her. And I said, no, mom. I need to be able to lip read you because of your range of your voice. And it is that's where we butt heads a lot. But she's starting to understand more that it's that nonverbal communication skill that makes it easier for me to understand people.
So, welcome in everyone. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge, a featured stream here on the Meet Me POF app. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to hit the fave on me and our featured guests, Nike God J Styles and BrattyAsh. And big special shout out to Big Rose in the comments. That is my partner. So if you guys want to hit him with the fave too, he is a streamer here on the app as well, and he streams twice a day with music and rush hour content. Okay, so that leads me into my next question, Jay, for you. How has your disability affected your family and yourself growing up?
For me, it's been a challenge. I did not wear hearing aid in middle school. I didn't wear it in high school. I sat in the front of the classroom, um, and the challenge was the teachers not really understand. They were old school teachers. They didn't understand dealing with a student with a disability because I didn't have the hearing aid, but I had the medical documentation. And the reason why I didn't have the hearing aid as a teenager, because of course my ears grew, my body grew, and I did not go back to Children's Hospital for a new molding of a new hearing aid, which was a struggle. It was, it wasn't stubbornness or apprehensiveness. It was just because. And I felt like looking back on, I probably would have been bullied. I probably would have asked to be homeschooled because I didn't want to face the dilemma of not necessarily feeling abnormal, but I didn't want to be ridiculed because of my disability. I didn't want to be looked upon a certain way. I didn't want the unfair criticism of being adolescent with a disability. Um, for my family, it was challenging. It was challenging for those who did not see me on a consistent basis, like other first cousins who were much older, living in another state. The only time I saw them was during family reunion function. So they didn't know, they wasn't aware. So it was it was a difficult time at that time. But now, challenge with my nephew who's soon to be two, he's frightened. He doesn't understand what these are. So he does not come to me and feels comfortable being around me because he feels like, you know, who is this person? You know, explain to him, even though he's 19 months, I'm sorry, 20 months, that your uncle can't hear properly, man. And I wear these to help me hear.
Yeah.
It's troublesome with a toddler. It is.
Welcome in, everyone. We're talking about disability community awareness. And Jay Styles is just sharing about what life has been like for him growing up. As you can imagine, it's something a very difficult for him to relive. So we're just going to give him a minute. Ashley, do you feel like a little bit of identification because your child has a hearing disability and now you see Jay, a grown man, talking about what he went through? Is anything resonating for you, or you feel like it's going to be different or in some way?
Yeah, I do feel for him. I'm like getting emotional myself, because like I said, some family members are, hi, baby, are in the sense of, I guess, ignorant, to what my son has, and it hurts trying to battle it. It hurts trying to help them understand. And, as an educator, I've seen it in kids with disabilities where they are picked on, they're bullied. Some of them are even picked on or from their own family members. And because they just don't, even grown adults, they don't understand or they're not willing to educate themselves. So it's very, very difficult. And there's been plenty of times where a certain family member who should want to learn sign language to help communicate with my son, um, is refusing to because he thinks that, like I said, we just need to talk louder, and it's been a battle, and it's been very, very emotional. very, very hard time.
We can feel that, right, guys? Hi, Marie. Welcome in. We can definitely feel the struggles you guys are both going through concerning this. Jay, did you want to finish your thought
Yeah.
before I move on?
So it's my brother. He had told me how he and the mother of his son. They told me how to address it with my nephew. And it's getting better. I understand he's a toddler, and and I've had second and third generation kids, cousins that same thing. And as they got older, it became more acceptable. It's just that I feel like I don't know. I feel lost when I'm around him, but I understand. He understands that I love him, and I know he loves me back. So,
Yeah.
and I can't fault him. I can't fault a 20-month old for not understanding. And I won't. I won't ever fault my nephew for that. But that's where I am now with my family. It's a progress. It's really a progress. And some days with you know are better than others. I mean, when you've heard Quita tell you the stories too as well, so and guys, I can't even remember what Quita said to him, but to be honest with you. Um, but I know she shared her experience for being my friend for nearly 20 years, and she's seen some of the things that I've struggled with in the workplace, and with my family, and she has been as my best friend, my biggest supporter, and as my ex, my biggest supporter, my biggest ally, my rally person, if you will. And she made sure that the new hearing aid that I got, she made sure I got the appointment because at the hospital which I got it from, I had free funding for it. I didn't have to pay a dime for these things. Each combined came up to almost $5,000 combined.
Wow. And you don't get any help for that? Any like government or medical assistance in buying those?
So no, in this situation, because Washington Hospital Center in the DC area, um, usually every 2 or 3 years they do application grant where they have enough money set aside, excuse me, for people who qualify for it for free based on income, based on other criteria, and I met all the criteria. This particular time, I had to go to a physician to get the approval referral for the application. Normally, the audiologist, which is the doctor, they check off everything, but they made some adjustments, so I had to go through another doctor in the hospital to get it approved. And usually, after the molding is done, it takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks before they call me and say, "Hey, hearing aids ready. Come and get them."
Okay. Okay. Welcome in, everyone. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. We are a featured stream. Please be respectful in the comments or you will get kicked. I have two questions I want to ask both of you because I think they're really great. And if anybody in the comments have suggestions as well, please feel free to put them in the comments. Or if you have questions for Jay and Ashley, we're not just talking about hearing disabilities, we're talking about the disability community in general. So please feel free to add your comments or your questions during the show. So my next question is, what would you guys both like to see? We're going to start with Ash and then go to Jay. What would you like to see regarding how people treat others with disability?
Um, I would say, just be more understanding, have some compassion, and just show love. We already are living in a world of judgment and sometimes cruelty. And sometimes people just need a little love. And just as a quick story, because it popped in my head, several years ago, I was at a trip with my previous partner, and we were in Wildwood for the week. It was one of those hotels that were like apartments. So my neighbors were actually people, a family who lost their house in a fire.
Oh wow.
And the son, who was like 5, had autism, and we were going out for dinner. And as I left the hotel to start the car, he was having a meltdown across the front porch because we shared it. And the father was so apologetic, crying, and explained the situation. I said, "Don't explain your situation. It's okay." So what I actually did was is I found seashells for a craft I was making in my bag, and I grabbed them and I got on his level and I said, distracted him, gave him the seashells, and he said he promised he would share with his sister, and his meltdown was done. And his father was crying, gave me a hug, and said, "Thank you for the understanding and love. A lot of people don't have that." And I said, "I get it." And it's just small things like that. And it doesn't even have to go out to that. Just understanding, we don't have to be judgmental.
That's very sweet,
I
Ash.
want to add to what Ash said. Compassion. I was fortunate enough as an adult to work for Homeland Security as a civilian for TSA. One of the things TSA does with all the screening officers, management, and everything, you have to take training, all sorts of training, from cultural awareness to sensitivity training to disability training. We learn and that all disabilities are not visible.
Mm.
Okay. Well, people don't
Right.
understand in the United States that nearly 2/3 of the American population has a form of a disability, whether it's physical or invisible. It does
Wow.
not mean that it should not be taken seriously. It should not be handled with proper care and attention. What I ask is that people educate themselves more thoroughly. You can Google it. TSA, to Department of Homeland Security, to the general public, does offer video training where you get a certificate that you could take to your employer and say, I've learned disability awareness. I've learned cultural sensitivity.
So everyone, you said everyone can do that, take that course and get that certificate.
Um, you can print it out once you get it, or you can upload it and save it on your hard drive to your computer and print it later.
Is that a
They can
free
just
course?
Google. They can Google DHS or TSA disability awareness training and TSA DHS cultural sensitivity training.
Well, I was wondering if maybe just for today, both of you can put that link in your IG bios. And if anybody in here would like to do that, you can hit J Styles or Ash on IG with that follow, and then you can access that link from their profiles. That way we can, get get this information out there. That'd be really good. Yeah, if everybody can take that. Um, I had a second question before we get to our last question. I had another question going off of this one. With you saying that 2/3 of people have some form of disability, whether physical, mental, emotional, do you feel that the mental, emotional disabilities are they more or less living a traumatized life than say someone with a physical disability, or do you feel like who gets picked on more? Do you feel it's the mental, emotional, the unseen, or the seen disabilities, the physical disabilities? What do you guys think?
You want to go first, Ash?
That's for me, that's a tough question. I think it's both, because if you think of the sense of, physical can also mean on the inside. So if someone has chronic pain or something medically going on with them, there have been stories where, people who look young and healthy on the outside, but have it, who park in handicap because of a medical condition, they get bullied by other people. And it's just so, and then there's also the scene one too. So it's hard to really say, because I feel like both get it really bad, and it's really sad.
Okay, so Ash, it's and we're just asking you guys your personal opinions. We know like you're not like an expert in the field, but so Ash is saying she feels both mental, emotional, physical disabilities, they all kind of get picked on about the same. What about you, Jay? What are your
From,
thoughts on that?
from my experience as um working with TSA, seeing so many different screening passengers, I would say it's more of the mental than physical. Um, Only because I've seen my fellow officers go back in the break room and comment inappropriately about a passenger that come through, and it made me upset. I didn't know what to do and how to respond. I didn't necessarily want to report a fellow officer because we're in private, we're away from the general public, so they can't see it, and I feel bad looking back on it that I didn't speak up and report it. But now that I'm in a better position with myself, that if it happens with a colleague in the workplace, I'm going to report it. I'm going to stand up for people like me and be a voice because I can't be voiceless anymore to those who don't even have a voice, who don't even have a leg to stand on. Because I think about, and I want to be real honest and real sensitive about this, guys. A lot of us know about the Wounded Warrior Project for the military, but not hardly any of us say thank you to the Wounded Warrior Project people. We've seen them go to Iraq and Afghanistan voluntarily for our own freedom, and yet they come back with no limbs, or they come back blind, or visually impaired, or hearing impaired, or totally deaf. And not once have I seen any other person other than myself and my family members, because my brother's a veteran, say thank you. So I just want to point that out as far as how I felt bad looking back at what I could have done nearly 14 years ago. I would have still been unemployed with TSA. What I should have done,
It's
but I didn't.
interesting that you mentioned the Wounded Warriors Project because actually, and you don't even know this about me, but every Veterans Day in November, my center, I get my students that I've trained in healing, and we open the doors and we have about 10 tables, and we give free healing sessions to all veterans, especially veterans with PTSD, and then we collect donations to donate to Wounded Warriors. So that's really cool that you mentioned Wounded Warriors. That's one of my favorite organizations because they do great work for the veterans. So thank you for shouting that out. And anybody in here, if you want to contribute, you can go to the page, the website for Wounded Warriors, and make donations as well because they do accept and they do great work for veterans.
You
My
can
last
also,
question for you guys.
I'm sorry, 1 second, real quick. You can also in your communities, you can go to your National Guard office or your recruiting office, and you can give a donation there to the Wounded Warrior Project.
So these talks that we're having right now is actually leading into my last question. How can we bring more awareness to the disabled community? And I'm going to start with Ash.
Um, like we've said previously, it's just all about, getting education, having compassion. If you, even as small as you see a parent in the grocery store dealing with a child who has a meltdown, could it be a simple tantrum? Sure. But could it be something else? Yes. And I've seen it, getting, as a parent, getting judgmental looks, and as simple as Walmart. It's just, or, I've seen people who have a physical disability and it's a seen disability, and they're looked at, or, just stared at. And it's just having, like I said, more compassion, understanding, you not knowing the situation, and educating yourself. And it's okay to ask questions. I've had people ask questions about my son, and I'm more than willing to let them know. But I think our ignorance is what we need to just let go of.
Yeah.
What do you
I
what do you guys think? Oh, go ahead, Jay, and then I'm going to ask this
No, I was just gonna say
question.
I co-sign with everything Ash just said, Uma. It's especially in the workplace as an adult. with a disability, there are a lot of ignorant, uneducated, non-compassionate, non-emphatic, or sympathetic individuals because they feel like just because they're normal, they need to be around physically normal people. There's no such thing as physical normalcy in the world that we live
That's true. So, a quick question. What do you guys feel about parents? Like, I've seen this on airplanes where a parent would have a sign around their child or on themselves, say, or like on the back of their seat saying, "I apologize for my child. They have a disability. Please bear with us." Do you guys feel that parents should do that or they shouldn't do that? That we should be more understanding as people? What do you guys feel?
in. I'll
I
start.
think that.
I
Oh,
go
go
ahead and
ahead. I'm
start.
sorry. Go ahead.
For someone who travels a lot by air, um, I tell people all the time, don't be ashamed for your blessing. Your child's a blessing with or
Mhm.
without a disability. They are perfectly imperfect for you. You were given an opportunity that a lot of people did never have an opportunity to have. Enjoy the experience for while you can, because you may not gonna get another chance. This may be your only chance. So don't apologize for something that will say something about your character and growth as a parent. Don't be ashamed of it.
Okay, Ash, what about you?
Um, I would I agree with everything Jay said. And, but, at the same time, it depends on the parent too. I think we should, in general, have a sense of understanding and like Eli said, we're God's children, that's your child, but if you want it known, that's fine. If you don't, then you shouldn't feel like you have to as well.
And Charlie said people should have compassion for people with disabilities or anything of that nature. And Eli, people need to understand that we're all God's children. These are great comments, guys. Thank you. Moon said it hurts my heart to hear that they felt they had to yeah, I'm with Moon on that. It does make me feel sad that this is the society we live in, that we can't all be on a plane and feel compassion for a crying child, that a parent has to actually put a sign up to say my child is, or whatever. And I'm like, is this how uncaring we have become as a society, that we can't tolerate a crying child for a couple of hours, or make do with it to.
If I could, real quick, tell everybody listening a quick story. Um, Again, I used to work for TSA. I was on detail assignment, and I was at the gate, one of the gates for Eastern Airlines. Um, a parent had a sign. You know, they made a handmade sign about the child having a disability, and the child wanted some McDonald's at the back behind the gate area. And as I was on detail, I was standing next to a pillar pole, radio in, and I happened to observe that the child was having an outburst, and the parent was feeling embarrassed, and they felt like they couldn't control. So I walked over and said, "Is there anything I can do?" They said, "Oh, my son just want French fries." No problem. I knew one of the shift supervisors. Um, I said to her, "Hey, I'm gonna pay for their fries. I'm gonna pay for what they need. I need double. I need it to be double. I need it now." So they got it for me now. They got it for me as an urgent request. The parent thanked me, wrote me a kudos letter. They said, "I'm glad someone recognized my child's disability." And said, "All due respect, I also have a disability. And if I was your son's age with my disability and I was startled by all the noise in the airport, I would want somebody to come to my mother and offer assistance too."
Wow. If more people in the world were like that, this would be a better world. Welcome in, guys. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. Well, guys, this has been an amazing, amazing show about disability community awareness. I thank both of you for your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences. Before I
My
let you go out
pleasure.
of the box, are there any things that you guys want to promote, anything that you have coming up that you would like to share with our community?
Just always give Uma B a favor. And I love my Lotus Family Lounge. And thank you so much for having me. It's been a great conversation. And I hope we can do it again because I feel like, I think, I forget who said it, but, it'd be great to do maybe a part two in the future because somebody did mention labeling, which is a really good topic to talk about too. So I definitely enjoyed our conversation and I hope everybody learned something.
I'm definitely open to it. So you guys just come up with the topics for the part two, like you want to hit on specifically, and then we can definitely do a part two. Thank you,
I
Ash.
agree.
Nike God, Jay Styles. What about you? Any events, anything coming up?
Um, I don't have anything coming up for the month of August as far as the streaming side. I am um in September looking for an organizational donation through my Instagram account, like I do for mental health awareness. I am looking for one a nonprofit group to bring social awareness to people with disability. I'm also looking to link up with a Instagram celebrity who's also featured on Netflix for a reality show called The Circle, who is from the DMV, who is known by Raven, but that is not her name on Instagram. For those of you who are interested, the reason why I'm bringing her up is two reasons. She is the disability ambassador, the global disability ambassador. She spoke before the White House. She went to Biden directly and Kamala Harris and as well as some senators to bring more awareness and attention to people with disabilities, not only in the workplace, but in schools and in housing as well. The end of discrimination against disability.
Wow. Do you think we can get her on this show for part two with you guys? That would be awesome.
I'm trying my best to reach out to her, guys, through TikTok, through Instagram. I'm going to need your help, Uma, to do a YouTube video to her. The next time we meet up, I'm going to need your assistance recording myself pleading to Raven so she can be part of it as well.
All right. Let me know her IG and I'll just probably reach out to her myself as well and check it out. All right, I'm going to ask you guys to jump out the box. I have 4 minutes left and I want to give these readings away because everybody loves the readings. So thank you guys for being here. Welcome in, everyone. We are coming down to the end of Uma's Lotus Lounge, a featured stream here on the app. Have you guys been enjoying it? Did you like the show? Yes. So as you see, we have people that have come here before and they know what to do. They're putting the ones in the comments. I have tarot cards. I'm just gonna give quick messages to everyone. But this show is recorded. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna stop the recording now to protect the privacy of those that I'm giving readings for. But if you would like to get a reading from me, you can catch me here on the POF Meet Me app. You can download Plenty of Fish to your phone, come to the live stream section, look for my name, UmaB1111, and hit me with that favorite. And when you do, whenever I stream, you'll get a notification and you can come on in and get a reading from me in real time. All right. Thank you guys so much that are on YouTube watching.